Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on CBS News. I'm Nikki Batiste.
And I'm Lana Zach. The House is set to vote today on a bill to raise the debt ceiling and avoid a global financial crisis.
But there's no guarantee it will pass, as dozens of lawmakers have already said they will oppose the legislation.
More than 24 Republicans have said that they are no on the Fiscal Responsibility Act. And we're also learning of several members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus that are opposed to the bill.
Let's turn to CBS News Nikole Killion, who is speaking with New York Congressman and member of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, Ritchie Torres. Nikole?
Lana and Nikki, thanks so much. And Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. So what is your vote on the bill? Have you made a decision?
So I'm presently undecided, but I do suspect that Congress will pass the deal and prevent a default. But there will be broad opposition both from the House Freedom Caucus and the House Progressive Caucus.
Why are you still on the fence?
I represent the poorest congressional district in America, and I worry that the deal could have a disproportionately destructive impact on the social safety net for the Bronx. The deal, as I understand it, would make it harder for poor people to eat food and easier for rich people to cheat on their taxes. And that, to me, expresses the warped worldview of the Republican Party. And so I have trouble swallowing that pill.
Even with some of the wrangling that the White House has been able to do in terms of expanding those requirements for veterans, those that are homeless.
Look, the deal is the product of the Republicans holding the economy hostage. And any deal under those circumstances is destined to be a raw deal for the American people. But I do agree that the White House did the best it could to negotiate the best possible deal. Republicans were originally demanding a 10-year window for spending cuts. The president negotiated them down to 2 years. Republicans were originally demanding 22% spending cuts in education and healthcare and law enforcement. The president negotiated them down to a spending freeze. Republicans were originally demanding only a 1-year extension of the debt limit. The president negotiated a 2-year extension, taking it beyond the 2024 presidential election. So the president was effective at watering down the ransom note from the Republican Party, but in the end, a ransom note, no matter how watered down, is destined to be a raw deal, particularly for the people of the Bronx.
And what do you make of the CBO saying that this would actually expand spending for work requirements?
Well, the CBO's analysis is based on a small sample of states, which do not include states like New York. You know, I've asked the White House for information about the number of people in my district who would be subject to those work requirements, and I've yet to receive a response. So I would have trouble voting for new work requirements without knowing how my constituents are affected by it.
And you were at that briefing earlier today with some of the White House negotiators as well as top aides and advisors. I mean, what was your takeaway from that meeting?
Look, I think members of Congress have been receiving extensive briefings these past few days, but there are critical questions that remain unanswered, like how many people in our states, how many people in our congressional districts are subject to these new work requirements, and that's a question that needs to be answered, at least for me.
So if you don't get those answers by the time this vote occurs tonight, then is it safe to say you're a no?
I would have trouble voting for it, but again, I want to keep an open mind. I want to continue engaging in conversations with the White House, but I have deep reservations about what I believe is a raw deal for the American people.
I know in talking to a number of your other fellow progressives, you know, many of them have said that they're undecided. And I guess walk us through what some of the other concerns are that you have.
Look, so one of my highest priorities is housing. The Department of Housing and Urban Development has a $13 billion hole that is left by the loss of revenues, and those spending caps are going to cripple the ability of Congress to close that $13 billion hole, which will mean less funding for public housing. You know, in New York, public housing has been so chronically starved of funding that it has a $14 billion capital need, $40 billion capital need. So there are tenants who are living in conditions of mold and mildew, leaks and lead without reliable heat and hot water in the winter. And I worry those spending caps, which are the equivalent of spending cuts in a time of inflation, will deepen the humanitarian crisis in public housing.
What do you make of the Republicans who oppose this package?
Look, the House Freedom Caucus consists of ideological arsonists who are intent on burning the U.S. economy in the service of their ideological agenda. So there's no placating the implacable. It was never going to be a bipartisan deal that could win the support of the House Freedom Caucus.
All right, Congressman Ritchie Torres, we appreciate your time. Lana and Nikki, back to you.
All right, Nikole Killion there together with Congressman Ritchie Torres. Thank you both.